Annalisa Brockhouse admits to calling the police on her husband in 2009. And officials urge caution and awareness during this week's heat wave. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Thursday, June 20th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. After refusing for months to acknowledge that his wife called San Antonio police in 2009 and accused him of domestic violence, former Councilman Greg Brockhouse appeared Wednesday night on KSAT TV alongside his wife and finally admitted that she had. Annalisa Brockhouse blames herself and her postpartum depression for an argument that night over bottled breast milk, noting that the dispute escalated to the point that she made a false police report against her husband, who, in the shadow of the allegations, earlier this month narrowly lost a mayoral runoff against incumbent Ron Nirenberg. Annalisa Brockhouse now insists that, contrary to what she told the responding officer that night, her husband never assaulted her, then or at any other time in their marriage. In the KSAT TV interview, Greg Brockhouse admitted that he and his wife arranged to have a police report on the December 23, 2009 incident legally expunged 1 year before Brockhouse launched his first campaign for city council. But despite his statement Wednesday, while running for mayor, Brockhouse had denied that the report had been expunged. According to the report, on December 23, 2009 at around 11:55 p.m., Annalisa called police and alleged that her husband had grabbed her, thrown her to the ground, and tried to hit her. Greg Brockhouse was not at the house on the far west side when police arrived, and Annalisa told the responding officer that she had been arguing with her husband because he had recently lost his job and had been drinking a lot. The report stated that Brockhouse screamed at Annalisa to leave him alone, and he eventually grabbed her and threw her on the ground and got on top of her. Annalisa told police that Greg was trying to hit her, and she kept trying to push him off, and that her husband only relented when their children came into the room and told him to get off of her. But Wednesday, Annalisa told KSAT that none of that was true, explaining that she had falsely accused her husband that night in 2009 because she was facing a vortex of personal difficulties, including the hospitalization of her father, and that she was suffering from postpartum depression after the birth of her son. In a separate incident in 2006, Greg Brockhouse was accused of domestic violence by his second wife, Christine Rivera, who told police he had shoved her into the side of a house. But Brockhouse has consistently denied pushing Rivera and has called himself a victim, noting that he was badly battered by Rivera's boyfriend. Brockhouse and Rivera divorced in May 2006, and about 2 years later, he married his current wife, Annalisa. And local agencies have issued tips to combat high temperatures and rising energy bills as temperatures in San Antonio approach the century mark. The National Weather Service warns that today's high temperature is forecast to be near 101 degrees, with a heat index expected to reach 109. Wednesday's high temperature reached 97 with a heat index of 103, and Friday is projected to hit 98 degrees. The National Weather Service reports the current surge in heat is due to a high-pressure system flowing over the south-central Texas area. In response to the forecast, the Metropolitan Health District has issued a heat advisory, and advisories are also in effect for the Rio Grande Valley, the Coastal Bend, and Central and South Texas. This week, people may experience heat strokes, heat cramps, or heat exhaustion. Warning signs of heat stroke include red, hot, and moist or dry skin, no sweating, a strong and rapid or slow and weak pulse, nausea, and confusion or strange behavior. Children experiencing these symptoms should be cooled rapidly in cool water, not an ice bath, before calling 911. People who see a child or pet locked in a hot car or in the back of a truck are advised to jot down the car's description and license plate and call police. On Wednesday, the San Antonio Fire Department received 10 calls about potential heat-related injuries. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Thursday, June 20th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.